with their job situation, it's more like they ask you what you deserve. They really want to see how can you benefit them.
Okay.
Because see, what you deserve may not necessarily benefit them. You may say you deserve $100,000 a year, $200,000, and et cetera. But how does that benefit them?
Right.
How can me paying you $100,000 a year push me on the upper end? Because I'm paying you $100 individually. That means I'm making 3 to 5 times that amount off of you. So they have to see the benefit. You got to appeal to their self-interest. You know what I'm
So
saying?
I really need to show out in case that question come up as far as what I can do for the company.
Yeah, but not in an arrogant way, but more like a logical way. Like, this is who I am.
Gotcha.
And based on this who I am, this how I know I can benefit the company. I'm not joining this organization just for what I can receive. I want a win-win. Because you got 2 type of relationships, bro. It's called a parasitic relationship and a symbiotic relationship.
Break that down.
A parasitic relationship is like, it's when one organism just feed off the other. Just take. Ultimately gonna kill the host, a parasite. A symbiotic relationship where 2 organisms feed off each other. I help you, you help me. You down, I lift you up. I'm down, you lift me up. We both win because we locked in. It's a law of reciprocity. No one is losing. We both contributing. So if you just taking from a job, just taking from a relationship, even from your bank account, the more you withdraw, you get what? A negative. You get a deficit, insufficient funds, overdraft. You got to continuously make deposits. So in order for us to grow where we can make the withdrawal we want out of life, we got to make deposits in our mind, deposits in our spirit, deposits in our relationship, and then we can withdraw what we work.
Right.
Because now we are valued.
Right.
Makes
I like
sense,
that. I love, man. Make all the sense in the world, baby. man, let's go, man. Being, like I said, I'm always seeing you on social media. You always got a good word for us and all that. I appreciate that, matter of fact. And what is your, when you wake up, what is your why?
Man, it's gonna sound crazy, but honestly, at this stage of my life, I know what God wants me to do, and I'm just strictly focused on liberating the people, for lack of better words. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
From all of my gifts. See, a lot of people want to isolate me and put me in the confines of being a barber, but a barber is not who I am. It was something that I did at a particular moment.
Yeah.
See, when I came home, bro, I got my gold took it in my mouth and got my hair cut off. I had dreads, and the barber that was cutting my hair asked me what I was gonna do with my life. And we had a little dialogue, some conversation. The man said, look, bro, 'cause I want to be an attorney.
Okay.
The truth of the matter, even though I was in and out of juvenile and got into a lot of trouble, what I went to jail for, I really was innocent, but I didn't understand the law. It really was a self-defense situation.
Okay.
But, anytime, just like I can get up right now and found you, bro. But if I, just playing, don't worry.
No.
I get up and I can found you, right? Long as I'm standing squared up with you, you can shake some. But if the moment I turn my back, you become the assailant and I become the victim.
Okay.
And you can't pursue me. You got to stop and pose a call to the police. But that's not how adrenaline work. That's not how logic works. That's not how your response works. You see what I'm saying? Your reflexes. And so once I did that, he took me to the barber school. I wanted to become an attorney because once I got inside, I didn't know how to read. I learned how to read coincidentally by what you would call it opposition. I was involved in a street organization, had some status. I met another individual, was quote unquote the opposition. He was an older guy that taught me how to read. First book I read was Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Then the autobiography from Malcolm X. From that point on, bro, I got addicted to books. And he made me read the dictionary and study. I got my GED. So when I came home, I had a plan. And I made sure that every step, every conversation, every association was in the direction of my goal. And I did not budge. No matter what people said, I made enemies. No, not real enemies, but people just disliked the situation because your growth made them uncomfortable due to the lack of discipline.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
For
so
sure.
he took me to the barber school. He said, man, I'm taking down in barber school on 3rd and Mallory, man, Hunter Lay Harris. We're taking down 3rd and Mallory, Hunter Lay Harris, man. And you like it, we're going to see what we can do to get you started. His name was Mr. Michael Savage. He worked at Trimmer's Barbershop. And I went in there, I liked what I did, and the man went out his pocket and paid for me to get started. From that point on, I didn't look back, but what I did not recognize was God had gave me a talent, the ability to cut hair, to attach to my gift, my purpose, my ability to speak and connect with people and to empathize and be sympathetic and to relate so that I can fulfill my purpose. So I was really institutional. I didn't talk. I didn't smile. I was just, always. I didn't know how to converse with people. So barbering was a training tool because now if I want to sit in my audience, I cut them before. I know the truck driver. I can down to be in Walmart and look at a person. Hey, bro, you a truck driver. You're an attorney. I can read individuals based on their body language, but on so many and mannerisms from cutting hair for so many years. So now at this stage, I take all of my experiences and everything I went through, I create programs for. So Letter to My Son is a program. Financial Literacy is a program. Doing Things in the Barber is a program. From behind the bars to behind the chair is a program. Being a single father, them different programs. So they say when a wise man died, a library is burnt to the ground. So we all have books inside of us. So right now, just being obedient. Yeah. Is it difficult? Yes, it's difficult. But the only difficult part is trying to escape the matrix because everything you see is going to be the opposite of what you believe. Right. Think about it, man. Steve Jobs helped create this phone. What? Man, what are you talking about, bro?
I swear.
Or the Wright brothers, they created the airplane.
The airplane, yeah.
But they created the airplane in a bicycle shop. Yeah. They didn't even have the tools that they need, the help that they needed, but they was able to implement their vision, their dream. So anytime you know something you should be doing, 9 times out of 10, it's going to be a lot of obstacles and opposition against you bringing it to manifestation. But this the thing. Do we know the difference between the obstacle and the opposition? See, an obstacle is something to train you, to strengthen you, to prepare you for the task. Okay. Opposition is something to hinder you, to oppose you, to stop your God-given ability. And obstacles are found where? On the obstacles course. Yeah. So when you see one, it's typically going to be a few more behind. Right. But you got to jump over the hurdles in order to get to your destination. And once you get to the finish line, man, you get crowned the king. Now, Player 5 said they should be crowned and not down anything.
Hey, look, check this. You ain't never do no music or nothing like that.
I used to bump.
For real?
Yeah, I used to bump.
For real? Because I bet, man, I need to hear it because I'm pretty sure you guys are punchline, man. Yeah.
Back then it was like, man, super violent. You know what I'm saying? That's Memphis culture. Everybody else, had like rump shaking music and stuff like that. We, I rob, like Kid on the Pip type music we had was 8𝙈_MJG. Everything else was dog. Yeah. But I remember sitting in my cell, brother, man, I remember I had to go to jail, stapled up, right? And it's crazy because at 19, man,
what year was this?
When I was 19, now I'm 43 now, bro. So damn, they had to be in 2001 or something like that. Okay. 2001, something like that.
Shit, I was supposed to graduate. Yeah. That year, 2001, yeah?
Yeah, because I ended up, I remember the situation I'm telling you about, I ended up shooting somebody, right? That's how karma worked. I shot somebody December the 21st. Yeah, they just, it was a situation where I had to, stand my ground, but my mentality behind it was unremorseful. It was malicious and evil. I never thought I was I was just, it made me worse. A year later, I get shot the same day, unrelated, December the 21st, right? Then 2 weeks after, still stapled up, I get into 2 shootouts. The same day while I'm still stapled up, 2 weeks later, the next day, the police came and got me for an investigation of robbery. I was on bond for attempted murder and I had to go lay it down. So I'm lipping to the phone to go, make call, do the regular thing. Can you send this? Can you do that? Can you run that? Pick this up? You know how I go. I go to the phone call. The first call I made was my mom to plug me in on a 3-way call so I can make some stuff move, right? I called mom. I was like, hello? She answered, but I ain't hear no voice. I'm like, hello? She just was silent. Yeah. But it was like a piercing silence, bro. It was a silence that really had a voice.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I heard the words without hearing the words. And she finally said something. She said, son, what you gonna do? I would get my family got in a situation when I was like 12 years old. They had to carry guns because I got involved in some gang stuff. She was like, "What you gonna do, man? You down to die? You con doing this and con doing that?" And bro, I got out that phone. They walked back to their cell on the 4th floor, even though it appeared like it was miles. It wasn't nothing but a couple of seconds to get from the phone to the cell. And when I got in there, bro, I went to sleep. I was just up thinking to the point I put myself to sleep. And when I got up the next morning to wash my face and prepare for, the slop, I looked in the mirror, bro, didn't recognize who I was.
Damn.
And I heard my mother's voice inside of my head, almost like a out-of-body experience. She was singing a church song.
Okay.
It was like, it's me, oh Lord, standing in the need of prayer. And I looked at myself, I said, damn, what did that individual do that was so horrific that God didn't recognize him? He had to say, like, if I ain't saw you in a while and you don't recognize me, something about my physical appearance has changed. Like, damn, but it's me, this air, but you don't such and such and such. So what did he do that was so horrific or horrendous that God didn't identify him? And I saw it because of what I had became. So I sat down on the bed, I had a legal pad. I started to write a prayer to God, and then I used to bump. So I started to bump, but this particular time, bro, it came out different. And I remember it vividly, bro. It was like a sound alarm, why the Lord free me from harm. I'm lost and reborn with the Quran gripped in my palm.
Yeah.
I'm tired of my wrong, hard torn, mentally scorned.
Yeah.
Demons in forms of loved one disguising their horns.
Yeah.
I've been sworn, torn, and pierced with thorns, no friend to lean on, because everyone left me alone. Substance abuse left a player stuck with the blues. I'm kind of confused, but could you take a walk in my shoes?
Man, quit playing.
And the chorus was like, I know I've been changed. From that point on, bro, I started to commit myself to personal growth and development in the midst of trying to survive hell.
Yeah.